Will Victor Osimhen be joining Paris Saint-Germain this season? This is what we're going to go through in this video. I'm going to take a look at how Osimhen could line up with Paris Saint-Germain, how he would play alongside Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi and Neymar Jr., his presumable price tag and a percentage of the signing of him to Paris Saint-Germain. Victor Osimhen is 24 years of age with a 100 market value, of course, playing his stint at Napoli now, has been there for, I believe, 4 seasons ever since his move from Lille, which also indicates he has Liga and experience, which we have seen is very important. At the moment, he has 25 goals and 4 assists at Napoli this season, which is really good. One of the top scorers in Europe, top 5 leagues this season, and he's been one of the best players in Europe so far this season. These are his stats. His non-penalty goals, 0.91. which is incredible. Shots total takes around 4.5 shots per game, and XAG, which is expected assists, is 0.11. Shot rating actions 2.53 with a progressive carries of 1.79. Successful take on 1 per game. Touches in penalty area, which is amazing, 7.21. And areas won 2.3 with progressive passes received 6.69. What these stats tell you is that Osimhen is a classic number 9, takes a lot of shots, scores a lot of goals, doesn't dribble that much, win aerial duels, and has a lot of touches in the penalty area. It's very similar to another player we signed from Napoli, which is Edinson Cavani. Both ruthless number 9s, and of course he was a bit unlucky for Cavani in his first years at Paris Saint-Germain, was playing out wide as a left winger when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was at a club, but when he played as a number 9, as a striker, he bagged so many goals for Paris Saint-Germain, and his movement in the box was crucial for many important games for us, and that will be the same scenario for Osimhen. His movement inside of the box will be so important for Paris Saint-Germain, which something we've been lacking ever since the departure of Mauro Icardi. And I'm comparing Mauro Icardi and Osimhen stats. Of course, Icardi's last season at Inter Milan and Osimhen this season. So XG, Osimhen takes that. Expected assists, pretty much the same. Shot creating actions, pretty much the same. Progressive carries, Osimhen a bit better. Osimhen takes nearly double the amount of shots. And when it comes to dribbling, Osimhen actually dribbles more than a Mauro Icardi, so he's a better version of Mauro Icardi when we signed him. And even though Mauro Icardi at the moment is not the best player, when we signed him in that first season, he was really good for us, and these are only great signs for Osimhen. And this is one important thing I wanted to look at. This is the heat map of Osimhen this season compared to the heat map of Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe this season. As you can see, Osimhen occupies that space which none of our players occupy. No Neymar Jr., no Lionel Messi, no Kylian Mbappe. Those central penalty spot areas right in front of the goal is the spots that Osimhen usually likes to be in and get the ball in, which none of our attackers do, which is a really great thing about the potential Osimhen signing. This is how he could line up with Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, you could have Neymar and Messi as that cam, as the number 10, with Mbappe as a left forward, and Osimhen as the striker or right forward, similar to what Messi has been playing sometimes, which would be great. There's another option if Mbappe is injured or if Mbappe potentially leaves the club. You have Messi and Neymar as dual cams in 3 at the back or something like we played in the beginning of the season, with Osimhen as the number 9, which would cook very well. You have 2 elite playmakers, the 2 best playmakers in the world in Messi and Neymar, with Osimhen right in front of them, making runs, staying inside of the box, and just being a threat in the entire game. Or in the potential case of Lionel Messi leaving the club, we could potentially play a 4-2-3-1 with Neymar as the number 10, Kylian Mbappe on the left, Moussa Diaby, for example, or Bakayoko on the right, and Osimhen up top. This is, of course, how Brazil and France play, which would suit Neymar really well and Kylian Mbappe really well. You have a number 9 in Osimhen and someone on the right in a Moussa Diaby as well. But the main issue with the Osimhen signing is that both Manchester United and Chelsea FC are heavily linked with Osimhen, and both teams would like to get Osimhen this summer transfer window, which means we're competing with them when it comes to the price tag. And as we all know, the Premier League money rules, which means that Chelsea and United, it will be much easier for them to put up a really high price when it comes to Osimhen compared to Paris Saint-Germain. But these are the reports that have come out. All of them are from Fabrice Hawkins, which is a really reliable Paris Saint-Germain reporter. The first option is Victor Osimhen is an unanimous option among all the influential people internally at the club, showing that everybody would like an Osimhen at the club. Justin, Victor Osimhen is PSG's priority in attack. Napoli wants at least 100 million euros. Mauro Icardi and Paredes are among the players that could be offered to Napoli in exchange for Osimhen to reduce the price. The player would not be against joining Paris Saint-Germain, which shows that Osimhen to Paris Saint-Germain, it's not like, of course, he's been dick riding the Premier League recently, but move to Paris Saint-Germain is not off the cards for Osimhen. And when it comes to the player exchange of Mauro Icardi and Paredes, I don't know if Napoli would want those two players. Maybe they're the two players that Paris Saint-Germain think Napoli would want to get. I don't know if they want them. And the last and most important report, Victor Osimhen would be keen to join Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Campos sees him as a priority and already met his entourage. The Nigerian is yet to have made a decision. I think Osimhen at the moment is very focused on his Napoli season this year. Of course, they will win the Serie A, and let's see what miracle they can do in the Champions League. But still hasn't decided if it's a move to the Premier League or to Paris Saint-Germain. But he would be keen to join Paris Saint-Germain, and Luis Campos has already met his entourage a few times in Paris, his agent and so on, which is really great news for Osimhen signing. He would cost between 120 million euros to 150 million euros, but if we can make a cheeky swap deal with the potential players that, as the report named, in Mauro Icardi and Leandro Paredes, maybe the price could be able to drop to at least 80 million, which is much more feasible for Paris Saint-Germain. But if I had to give it a percentage, I would give it a 30%. At the moment, it looks very unlikely that Osimhen will be a Paris Saint-Germain player next season, and it's mostly due to the price. Of course, he also wants to play in the Premier League and has talked a lot of times about playing in the Premier League. But for me, the biggest obstacle is the price. I don't know where Paris Saint-Germain are gonna get that money from, and if Osimhen joins, he would want to be a starter, which means we would need to play with 4 attackers, I guess. I don't think he would want to sit on the bench, and I don't think he would want to bench Neymar, Messi, or Mbappe. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Victor Osimhen will be joining Paris Saint-Germain next season, and would you take him at the club? I would definitely take him at the club. He's an amazing player, but I would rather maybe take someone else with a cheaper price. Video coming soon about that. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the PSGINT YouTube channel as always, and as usual, allez, allez, allez Paris!